You want 5 quotes focusing on the inspector from J.B. Priestley's An Inspector Calls? Let's get into it then! From Act 1, at once an impression of massiveness. The inspector immediately transforms the atmosphere as the comparatives brighter and harder symbolise how he will focus the light, his light, the light of truth upon the Burling family, whose previous lighting, being pink and soft, hides their ignorance and lack of responsibility. In fact, they could be quite happily sat in pink light for the rest of their lives. Therefore, Priestley symbolises from the very onset of the inspector's introduction that he will not be corrupted, as his light is purer and brighter than anyone else's. I love this quote from Act 1, the metaphor, I don't play golf. Golf as a sport symbolises exclusivity, wealth, affluence, membership, social connections. I mean, golf clubs are hardly 10 a penny. Therefore, this symbolises how the inspector does not play to their capitalist rules. Thus, he is metaphorically outside of society. He cannot be unduly influenced by other people's connections and illusions of power, such as Burling's, how do you get on with our Chief Constable, Colonel Roberts? From Act 2, we all have to share our guilt. Here, the first person inclusive pronoun we amplifies 2 things: shared social responsibility, main theme in the play, and also the unification of society, which is something that Priestley passionately believes in and socialism supports. The inspector gradually removes the barriers of social class to force the characters to accept their responsibility for their actions and impact on Eva and Daisy's life, or lives. Well, the younger ones anyway. In Act 3, we are all members of one body. This juxtaposes with Burling's earlier quote, all mixed up like bees in a hive. By juxtaposing capitalism and socialism, Priestley amplifies how capitalism is not a humane social system. Furthermore, the first quote, we are all members of one body, is a biblical allusion. From Corinthians chapter 1, verse 12. For as the body is one, and it hath many members, and all members of one body, being many, are one body, so also is Christ. Therefore, as all men were created in God's likeness, according to the Bible, Priestley uses this religious point to drive home the idea that it is capitalism that is corrupting mankind and that God and socialism are more directly aligned, which is an incredibly persuasive viewpoint if you think about it. It's capitalism that creates greed, sin and poverty. Act 3 taught in fire and blood and anguish. Metaphorically, Eva could be World War I and Daisy could be World War II. The second body turns up because the inspector has not been successful in convincing the older generation to accept responsibility. And Gerald Croft, well, he's just going to carry on in his merry way. You want 5 quotes focusing on the You want 5 Jekyll and Hyde quotes that can be